Hi and welcome back. We're here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I made a video of this yesterday, and I was supposed to upload it last evening, and I screwed up the video. So basically I had to put it back together, and I wanted to show you how it comes apart. So this is the forward clutch. That's the snap ring that holds it on. And once you do that, it just comes off. The hat comes off. There's your pressure plate. See if I can see that, if you can get a good view of it. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you, which they're kind of difficult to see in the photograph, in the video rather. These are sealing rings. Now you'll see when the brake comes around, right there. Okay, we have the holes for forward and reverse. Basically, that your spool valve beside the the transmission oil pump actually controls where that fluid goes. It's important to have all these rings. You have to inspect them, see if they're broken. It's a good idea to replace them, because they may have been in here for the past 50 years. No one knows, and one could break tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying you can't put it back together and it'll work just fine. It will, no question about it. But if one breaks, you're out of luck. It might work for a little bit when it's cold, but it very quickly will run out of steam when it gets hot. You lose all your fluid pressure going to the clutch pack, and that's the end of it. So, we'll take this one off, and we're just going to put this over here for now, and we're going to empty this out. Now, so this is the drum. And now this transmission had no reverse. However, when I did take it apart, I discovered that the front, although this might have been working, the front discs are finished. Okay. Now, it's a good possibility this thing was run out of oil or kept low on oil, and that may have been the reason for the failure. And I had said that potentially the fact that the brakes were gone could have resulted in the failure of the rear clutch pack. But we've got the same problem all around, and we have burnt discs. I wouldn't ever reuse those. They're garbage. But the hard parts, still good. There's nothing wrong with them. We're still going to use them, although I will be doing a video and I will take this apart. So what we've got is a spring inside here, and we've got it's not a circlip. It's actually kind of a wraparound ring that holds this thing together. And whenever you've got fluid pressure, it pushes this back out and applies pressure to the clutch discs, and that's what you get your forward momentum. So we'll put that over there, and this over here. The surface of this is still good. The sealing rings are good. The bearings still good. We're going to probably reuse all that stuff. I would caution you to, if you take it apart, using new bearings would be a good idea, but I'm not going to do that here. Now, like I said, I had to take this. I took this apart yesterday for a video, and I ruined the video. So I didn't find anything good in here. So we're going to take this apart, and I'll show you what I found. So we're going to do this. This is a snap ring, same as the one for the front clutch pack. Now you've got to watch when you're taking them off. Don't just reef them off. There are clutch sealing rings that need to be respected. You've got 2 for the back clutch basket and 2 for the front clutch basket. I'll get a rag and I'll wipe that down so you can have a better look. Now, so you've got 2 sealing rings for the forward clutch basket right here. Now they're still in one piece, and you've got 2 back down here that are also still in one piece. Now it's a good idea, like I said, it's a good idea to replace those. You've got this transmission apart. I found a lot of overheating. Okay, so the discs are literally destroyed. That is not going to get you anywhere. This pieces are welded to the steel discs. It's all garbage. So we'll put that over here. Now I've already removed all the snap rings. There are snap rings holding the sprags in. So we'll put the sprags over here. We could reuse those, but they've got to be cleaned first. And of course, everywhere we've got thrust washers. Make sure those are saved. You'll be reusing those unless they're destroyed. And then we've got the rear pressure plate. Now this is finished. You may not be able to see that, but if you look here, some of the disc was welded straight to this pressure plate. So we're not going to be using that again. We actually have another one, a used one, that we're going to be using. So now we're down to the nitty-gritty. This is basically your shaft, and when you take it apart, it's always a good idea to inspect. Well, inspect it for wear. You know, if you've got some damage to the shaft, you'd rather know about it before you put it back together. But we've got the sealing ring here and here. Essentially, when this goes in here, that seals your fluid pressure in. Okay? These 2 rings right here seal your fluid pressure in from this to this. And you've got your 4 sealing rings for your forward reverse clutch basket. And that's what there is to it. Now so far, we haven't had good luck with this transmission. This clutch basket, one, it's got rust on it, and it had a lot of crap run through it, so we're not going to use that. This one, there's nothing wrong with this. As far as I can tell, even the bushing inside looks okay. But this I took off of another machine as parts, right? I just threw it on here for show. The real clutch basket that came off of it is much, much worse. This is actually the basket that came off of it. And it won't be going back on. Like I can clean it up, take it apart, make sure it's okay, and we could reuse it. But I'm not going to take it apart now because I don't have time. Instead, I'm going to focus on taking this one apart. Now, the reason for taking them apart is to make sure that everything is okay in here. You have to make sure that you've got your fluid pressure going where it's supposed to go. Now, I have no doubt this is going to be okay, but it pays to check. So I'm going to have it in a press, and I will take some photos or take a short video and just to show you how it comes apart. Now this, it's under a lot of tension, so you don't want to just start trying to peel that spiral snap ring out of there, because when it flies apart it's going to hurt somebody. So I'll be using a press, and we'll be taking it apart very carefully, and we'll be inspecting inside there, because my guess is, now I've never taken one of these apart. We've just reused them when we put them back in. But my guess is there is a steel ring, much like these guys that I showed you previously. There's a steel ring in there to keep the pressure in, but we'll find out together when I take it apart. So until the next video, thank you for watching and have a great one.